Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is your girl MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. Guys, we're not going to waste any time. We're just going to dive right in. First fight of the night, we start in AEW, as it is the AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR, going up against the Jungle Express of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Winners of the bout in 12 minutes and 10 seconds is FTR. And I gotta say this was at least 3.5 stars. Great way to start the show. Hard hitting action. Great wrestling psychology. The whole 9 yards. I'll even go as far to say this was actually the best FTR match in AEW since they've came to the company. This was their best fight yet. So, really nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. With all due respect, the best match that FTR had was the match where they won the World Tag Team Championship against the Hangman and Kenny Omega. That was their best match. But this was another good one. Absolutely, it was. But one quick thing that needs to be addressed: the Young Bucks came out and they super kicked the referee and they threw a stack of bills in Tony Khan's face in the backstage area. So read into that what you will. But the Young Bucks turning heel has been fun to watch, and having them come out and assault the ref before this match for no reason was a quick way to further that storyline. The fight that followed was the kind of fast-paced tag team action we have come to expect from AEW. These two teams showed a lot of chemistry and had some great exchanges. There were a few points when slowing down would have benefited them, but it's a small quibble. Overall, the match was a fun way to start the show. I 100% agree with MF's rating, 3 to 3.5 stars. But like I said, FTR's best AEW match was the match where they won the World Tag Team Championship at All Out. So that's just my opinion, but nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this. 3 to 3.5 stars for us.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 to 3.5 stars as well. I mean, this was definitely a great way to start it off, and yeah, this is it was fun. It was entertaining. I mean, obviously, FTR with the win here, but I'll tell you, Jungle Express really definitely gave them a run for their money. But in the end, it was the FTR who reigned supreme. So yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be added here. So let's move on.
Very well. We do move on to the next match of the night. It was Adam Hangman Page going up against Frankie Kazarian. The Hangman, Adam Page, wins the match in 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
Great matchup here. 3 3/4 to 4 stars. This was the kind of match that would have been at home on any pay-per-view card. Page and Kaz are two skilled veterans who are experts at what they do, and they did not disappoint. This could have been a 5-minute match with no storyline, but it ended up being one of the best singles bouts either man has had in AEW to date. The physical ability of both competitors was impressive. They hit a lot of power moves you would expect from guys twice their size, which speaks to the hidden strength Page and Kaz possess. This was great work from top to bottom. You can make an argument for fight of the night here. You really can. That's how great this was. I'm giving this 3 3/4 to a solid 4 stars. Great effort from both. But MF, then again, you and I know Frankie Kazarian. We know what he's capable of, being the TNA original that he was in those incredible matches he used to have, whether they were in the X Division or what have you. And I'm not at all surprised at the effort he put in tonight with the Hangman. So well done, sir. So nothing more to say on this. 3 3/4 to 4. Michael Bullock, you can make an argument easily for fight of the night on this.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, this was definitely a contender for fight of the night. You can definitely make the argument on that. 3 3/4 to 4. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, great work by both men. I mean, these two definitely put on a solid match, one that I'm sure every wrestling fan can enjoy. And yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it is yours.
Yeah, three and a half stars. I could say 3 and 3/4. This is definitely fight of the night status. I got really nothing more to add here. So next up we had was MJF versus Sean Dean. MJF wins the match in 10 seconds, then delivers a promo. Basically, I want to say he said that he considers himself a lone wolf, but he said it's time that he join a wolf pack. I mean, what are you trying to play, MJF? That's what I'm wondering. Anyway, next up we had was Jake Hager and Chris Jericho versus the Private Party, and it was Hager and Jericho winning the match in 13 minutes even. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
Well, first off, before that, he said MJF saying he wants to start, like you said, a wolf pack. Well, Mister Doofus, let me make one thing crystal clear. There's only one true wolf pack, and guys, you know what I'm talking about. The NWO pack.
NWO.
That was more entertaining. If this is your way of taking a shot at them, well, let's just say, if you're thinking of forming something like this, it's not going to be entertaining. Because I really don't know what else there's to say. As far as that goes, as far as this match goes, I'll give it about three and a quarter for the effort here. No surprise here. No surprise with Jericho and Hager going over here. But after the match, Chris Jericho continued the aftermath. But yeah, the rest. Yeah, but their actions were thwarted afterwards. So yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. Fletch, it is yours, my friend.
I'd say about 3 and 1/4. Solid match, good battle. 13 minutes, plenty of time. But the thing is that I kind of felt like it was entertaining. And look, Private Party looked good. Even though it was in a losing effort, they actually did very well for themselves. So everybody did fine for in their roles. The outcome was nowhere surprising, to say the very least. To be real honest with you guys, Jericho and Jake Hager is starting to climb the ladder here, and if they keep this up, they might be in line for a future AEW World Tag Team title shot. Anthony Florio, they're rising up the rankings, and they're not stopping at any point right now.
No, not at all. 2.5 to 3 is my rating for this. The action in this match was good, but something about the pace felt off. At times, it seemed like Private Party was slowing down when they shouldn't. It could be due to a lack of chemistry. These are not two teams who have faced each other a million times, so they have never had an opportunity to get to know each other. The ending indicates this could be a feud that continues, which would be great because there is potential for these two teams to improve on this performance during their next encounter. So that's definitely how I feel about it. It stemmed from a backstage moment where the Inner Circle took out Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy has been like an advisor to Private Party, like a mentor to them. So this could definitely be Jericho and the Inner Circle's next great feud here. So nothing really more to say here. 2.5 to 3. So let's move on, MF.
Alright, guys, and with that said, we're just going to move right on along. Next up we had was for the NWA Women's Championship, as Thunder Rosa puts the title on the line against Eva Lise, winner of the bout, in 9 minutes and 35 seconds, and still NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa This was a very good match. Very well done. Not very rare that the NWA women's title is put up for on the line outside of NWA. But this is one of the rare times where they've done it, and this delivered. And this was a very good match, solid title match to say the very least. Eva Lise had a moment where it looked like she was going to win the title, but Thunder Rosa rises to the occasion and successfully defends it. So, no doubt about it, Thunder Rosa looked great. 2.5 to 3 for me. Anthony, a solid title match, but more importantly, the champion remains the champion.
Champion remains champion. And what was that time of the fall, MF? Do you have it?
9:35.
9:35. I thought it was a little longer than that, but all right. Another 3 to 3.25 star match here. This match was all about physicality. Both women were hitting as hard as they could and using a lot of power moves to make this a great match. Diamante attacking Thunder Rosa after the match allowed Hikaru Shida to get involved. It's clear AEW is working toward a tag team match with the winners of the AEW Women's Cup taking on the AEW and NWA Women's Champions. Seeing AEW form relationships with other promotions is great, but it needs to make sure its own women's division is the priority moving forward. And next week on AEW Dynamite, Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa will team up to take on Eva Lise and Diamante. That's got potential to be a show stealer, so because these four can go. And this might be the shot in the arm that this women's division so desperately needs. So 3 to 3.25 stars. I can make an argument for 3.5 because this was a good match. So nothing more to say except Michael Bullock. Thunder Rosa impressed you. I know you and I haven't had much of a chance to see her. MF knows her more than we do, but I'm sure she had to impress you. She sure did me.
She certainly impressed me. I mean, after watching this match, I mean, she really. I mean, now we know why Fletcher was really high on her. So I'll give it 2.5 to 3. Maybe teetering on 3.25 as well. But I think I'll give it a solid 3. I mean, these two in the ring definitely put on a very entertaining match. I mean, no surprise with Diamante coming in afterwards. And then you had, like you said, Hikaru Shida basically coming to the rescue and basically setting up that women's tag team match next week on Dynamite. And that could be a show-stealing match based on the body work of these four women. So 3 stars is my rating. Fletch, let's move on.
All right, with that said, we do indeed move on. And the next match that we have on AEW Dynamite was. Let's see. Then we had a big promo segment by Jon Moxley. Just a lot of stuff going on. And actually, yeah, so what it's going to be is that it's going to be. All right. So, next week on AEW, we got Moxley and Hobbs and Darby Allin. They're going to go up against Lance Archer, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks. Brody Lee putting the TNT title on the line against Orange Cassidy. And then, like Anthony said, Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa versus Eva Lise and Diamante in a tag team match. And Chris Jericho is going to be on commentary. Main event of the evening, guys, was a parking lot fight, as it was the Best Friends versus Santana and Ortiz. Winners of the bout, 12 minutes and 45 seconds. The Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Chuck E.T., hugs for everybody in the building. Anthony Florio, bro hug, Best Friends hug. They win.
Time of the fall.
12:45.
Man, I'll tell you. Whenever any promotion does a match that takes place backstage or in a parking lot, it always involves a lot of weapons and unique ways of using the environment to inflict damage. Both teams had some entertaining moments throughout this fight. Ortiz nearly killing Taylor with a sledgehammer was shocking, to say the least. This was a great way to showcase everyone involved. For two guys who have the gimmick of hugging each other a lot, Trent and Taylor came away from this looking like badasses, and by winning this match and with the bro hug at the end, you gotta give the people what they want. So that's all there is to say on that. So this is definitely this is another match that you can consider for fight of the night here, no question about it, because this was really good. This was fun as well. I could probably say co-fight of the night here. I could probably give this about 3 3/4 to 4 stars. This was a fantastic brawl. I watched it back a little while ago, and man, I was impressed. And I'm not the big hardcore guy like MF is, and or our old friend Derek Ferreira, but I'll tell you what, I was very, very impressed with what I saw this evening. So well done, guys. So co-fight of the night for me, 3 3/4 to 4 stars. This was a fun ass brawl. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, the best friends, they got to give the people what they want, and I think they certainly did just that tonight.
They certainly gave the people what they wanted, and well, with a little help from Orange Cassidy, yeah, I mean that was now that was the definition of a brawl right there. I mean, you had a lot of weapons being used in this match, and I'll tell you guys, Trent Beretta is going to be one sore puppy in the morning because his back really definitely took a beating. I mean, first a power bomb like right onto the hood of the car, and then a double power bomb right through the window shield. I mean, I literally cringed when I saw him get put through that window shield. I'm like, damn, his back is definitely going to be effed up after that. I mean, with all the glass around him, I mean, I was surprised that he was able to walk out after that. So, nice win for the best friends. So, there's really nothing more for me to say except Fletch. I guess we could say when it comes to Trent Beretta, he's going to be sore in the morning.
Yo, ibuprofen, bro, and a lot of ice. I mean, Trent, there's nothing more to say. Just get well, man. Or rest that body. You deserve it after tonight. Holy crap. Yeah, 3.5 stars. Strong main event. Strong main event. Great way to close the show. Unbelievable matchup. Michael Bullock, AEW, final thought, and this was a really damn good show.
Yeah, there's really nothing more you can say. This was definitely a damn good show, no doubt. I mean, you had only one cutout match here with the MJF, but other than that, all the other matches were solid and good. I mean, AEW really needed to step up, and they certainly stepped up big time, and they definitely deserve some big time props for putting on a damn good show tonight. And like you said, with the matches coming up next week, could we get another good one? We'll have to wait and see next week. So major props to you, AEW. You definitely got some brownie points from me for the show you definitely put on tonight. So Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, no, solid episode, really good show. I don't think there's really anything to add. 7.5 to 8 out of 10, a solid 8 for me. Like we said, normally we would say NXT, you got your work cut out. I think NXT had just about an equally as good to maybe a little better than AEW. Anthony, give us your final thought, and then we'll get into NXT.
Indeed. And yeah, everything about the show was really good. And yeah, only one bad match, but other than that, I mean, everything on the show was great. The show was a little slow in the first hour, but that is usually to be expected with a reset of a lot of the talent from last week's show. Usually the first hour is stronger, but this week the final 3 segments really were great. The NWA women's title match, the setup for the 6-man next week, And the parking lot match was an awesome 40 minutes alone. And that's really all there is to say on this. So I 100% agree. 7.5 to 8. No question about that. I could go higher if I wanted to, but I think that's good enough for us. So yeah, great addition to Dynamite this evening. Well done. And upward and onward to NXT MF with not one, but 2 championship matches.
Oh yeah, and we do jump it off with a hot one, guys. We start off with NXT tonight from Full Sail University, a non-title match. Io Shirai, the NXT Women's Champion, versus Shotzi Blackheart, winner of the bout, in 14 minutes, 19 seconds. The NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai. Holy freaking crap, what a match. What a jump off for NXT. I'm going to say it. 3.5 to 3.75, on the verge of 4 stars. That's how good this the match started. This was a great match, great body of work. Both women were incredible. I'm going to say this. Shotzi Blackheart, you've arrived on NXT. This was your performance of a lifetime, and sweetheart, you knocked this out of the park. Go ahead and ride around on that toy tank a few times around, because you deserve it, my friend. You killed it tonight. Io was amazing. Shotzi was amazing. This match was freaking awesome. Anthony Florio, I could easily call this possibly fight of the night status.
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't argue against that. No doubt about it. I saw this live. Wow, unbelievable. In her first major test as a big match performer in NXT, Shotzi Blackheart absolutely lived up to the moment, delivering a performance that shattered all questions about her in-ring ability as she hung move for move with the standard bearer Io Shirai. This was a physically intense match between 2 babyfaces that was well worked. Shirai scored the win, as a champion should, in a non-title match, but it was Blackheart who earned the most, as the commentary team and match itself really put her over as a player in the NXT women's division. If she can build on this momentum, do not be surprised if she is regularly competing for the title by the time 2020 comes to a welcome, and I do mean welcome, close. So that's really all there is to say on this. I'm going to take it just a smidge higher, MF, 3.75 to 4. I feel that is the appropriate rating for this match. You could definitely make an argument for fight of the night. Maybe we could call this the fight of the night. Absolutely. So leave it to Io Shirai to get someone like Shotzi Blackheart over. I mean, she didn't really have any blowaway matches in TNA when she was in Impact Wrestling for that little bit of time, but damn it to hell, that was the most impressed I have been with her, and that was incredible. So well done. 3.75 to 4 stars on a match with 2 championship matches. This just might have overshadowed both of them combined. So well done. So 3.75 to 4 stars. Michael Bullock, I think you've got yourself a future player in your women's division. That green-haired beauty.
Yeah, definitely. Shotzi Blackheart definitely arrived in NXT tonight with this impressive performance, even though it wasn't a losing effort. 4 stars is my rating. I mean, Io Shirai. I mean, she puts over other female wrestlers, and what she did with Shotzi Blackheart was just unreal. I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, Shotzi Blackheart may not have won this match, but she definitely won the hearts of the NXT universe. And unfortunately, though, no championship committee moment because she did not get the victory. But don't worry, Shotzi. You got a shot come somewhere down the line. When? Who knows? But you definitely proved yourself here tonight. So there's really nothing more to say, and even 4 stars for me, Fletch. Let's move on.
And then normally when you start a red hot show like that, you're like, okay, what's the cooldown? We need a cooldown after this because we that was amazing. Well, we had a cooldown. Tommaso Ciampa versus Desmond Troy. Tommaso Ciampa wins the match. Unfortunately, I don't have a time limit, guys. I'm guessing the match was short and sweet and straight to the point. So I'm not gonna waste my time on this. Then we had a promo by Finn Balor. Then we had Kushida one-on-one with Austin Theory. Kushida wins the match in 3 minutes and 19 seconds via submission. I guess we can continue on along. All right, this we'll get into the NXT Tag Team titles on the line. Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Breezango going up against Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner of Imperium, winners of the bout in 11 minutes, and still the NXT Tag Team Champions of the World. Breezango, they successfully defend the titles. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend.
3.5 stars, man. No doubt. In the weeks leading into this match, Eichner and Bartel insisted Fandango and Breeze were jokes. They downplayed their loss to Breezango and were very confident in their ability to regain the titles. On more than one occasion in this match, their words appear to be prophetic. Instead, the champions show tremendous heart and intestinal fortitude, fighting through everything their rivals threw at them en route to a successful first title defense. The only question now is who will emerge to challenge for the gold next? Undisputed Era? That feels like a retreat, though. We have not seen them battle Breezango in any significant match to date. So, yeah, a solid 3.25, 3.5 stars. I think that's the correct rating for this. Another one of the fights of the night, absolutely. So definitely in the top 3, no doubt about that. So that's all there is to say. Michael Bullock, you got a problem here, man. I mean, you got a very limited tag team division in NXT. Nowhere near as damn good as AEW's is, which is the best in the business and fully loaded and top heavy. But who's Breezango going to feud with now?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question. I mean, the tag team division is limited. I mean, I don't know who Breezango would defend the titles against next. I mean, yeah, I mean, Undisputed Era is a good choice, but the only problem is they've already had a run with the NXT tag team titles. It wouldn't make sense to have them feud for it again. So we'll have to wait and see. But 3.5 stars. There's really no. I mean, yeah. I mean, this was a really good match here, no doubt about it. There's really nothing more to say. So Fletch, it's yours.
Solid match, right outcome. I think that there's no debate about it. The correct team won. There's really nothing more to say. So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna waste any more time, and we're just gonna move right on along, guys. So next up we had was actually a tag team match, as it was. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. Okay, it was Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. They went up against Xia Li and Jesse Camilla. The winners of the bout in 3 minutes and 53 seconds was Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro, getting a huge win for them. Maybe elevates them up the ladder in NXT, but more importantly, in the WWE Women's Division, it looks like we finally got ourselves an NXT team that could possibly fight for the WWE Women's Tag Belts. Now, don't get me wrong, the champions are right now Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, and that would make them major underdogs in that situation. But Casey Catanzaro, Caden Carter, it looks like they got the chemistry. They're working. They're working pretty good as a team. If they keep it up, who knows? Maybe we have ourselves a representative for NXT to possibly take the belts on and try to win the gold. So we'll see what happens. It was an all right match. Nothing more to say. Then we had well, it started out as a handicap match, as it was the Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish going up against Drake Maverick. Well, halfway through the match, a little bit of some chaos broke out, and Big Damo, Killian Dane showed up. Mr. William Regal's like, you know what? All right, fine. Let's do this as a tag team match. Well, the fight gets thrown out. The winners of the bout, via disqualification, was Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. No time for this, so obviously an NA there. Leads us into the main event of the evening, and Michael Bullock, you get to lead off on this. For the NXT North American Championship, Damian Priest versus Timothy Thatcher, winners of the bout in 12 minutes and 47 seconds, and still the NXT North American Champion, Damian Priest. Bullock, you lead off. What a main event!
I'll say, what a main event this definitely turned out to be. I mean, great work by both Damian Priest and Timothy Thatcher, and we can see why Anthony Florio really is high on this guy. I'll give this somewhere between 3.5 to 4. This was definitely an awesome match, no doubt about it. I mean, Damian Priest's first title defense was a successful one against a very tough individual in Timothy Thatcher. And I mean, Damian Priest really proved himself here. I mean, that he can hang in there with the big boys, especially with someone like Timothy Thatcher. So major props to you, Damian Priest. A very good first title defense. So, but let me tell you, man, the road's only going to get tougher and tougher for you. But after what Damian Priest did tonight, I think he's definitely up for the challenge. So nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Solid main event, no doubt about it. 3.5 stars for me. Very good match, very good battle. And at the end of the day, the outcome was never in doubt, but they got the right decision. Damian Priest, without a doubt, deserving of the belt, and he's a great representation, I should say, of the NXT North American Championship. Anthony Florio, you got yourself a winner here, man. I know you've been very high on Damian Priest. Now we know why. Hell of a performance tonight.
I think you meant to say Timothy Thatcher, but yes. But yes, Damian Priest is definitely, starting to impress me, and this was a great match here. Second best fight of the night here, solid 3.5 stars, teetering on 3 3/4. This was a strong main event with a great gutsy performance from Damian Priest. The NXT North American Champion grows and evolves as a performer with every passing week, and now has shown flashes of being a great big man babyface in the same vein as Hall of Famer Razor Ramon, if that is the direction the brand wants to head with him. And of course, I can't go without giving kudos to my man Timothy Thatcher as well. And I'm telling you guys, he continues to prove he is one of the very best mat technicians in the entire sport, aka Thinking Man's Wrestler. His time will come, particularly if NXT officials continue to put over his expertise and no-nonsense attitude, which is the main reason why I love the guy in the first place. The brand is his for the taking in the near future, but not yet. So 3.5, second best fight of the night for me, no doubt about it. So let's get on to our overall final thoughts on NXT for this evening.
All right, and I believe who leads off on this one then? It actually goes to me. So no, solid NXT, incredible show, 3 really good matches. to say the very least. Michael Bullock, take a bow, my friend. This was a great show for the crew. 8 out of 10 for me. Yes, I know there was a couple of matches that weren't so great, so hot, but you know what? It served its purpose. There was a couple of cool down matches after some red hot matches. This was a very fluid NXT, and I loved it. I got nothing more to add. 8 out of 10. Anthony, go.
Yeah. You could definitely make an argument for that. Slight disagreement here. 7.5. The squash matches are the only thing that hinder it for me. But other than that, well, there were two squash matches, and then that NA that really bothered me. I think 8's a little steep MF, but I think 7 to 7.5 is the more appropriate rating. It may not have had any real standout matches other than EO and Shotzi, but this was a good episode. Almost nothing was bad, and things moved along nicely. I will give you that, while furthering several angles. And that's all you can really ask for in a quality weekly TV show. And next week, what do we have here? There's going to be, I guess it's going to be a 5-man gauntlet eliminator match to determine future contender for the NXT championship. 2 men start every 4 minutes. Somebody new enters. Elimination by pinfall or submission. No word on who's in it yet. But what we do know is next week, Tommaso Ciampa is going to go up against Jake Atlas. And we're also going to have a women's battle royale. And the winner of that match will, I guess, will be the next challenger for Io Shirai and the women's championship. And yeah, there's a battle royale, and it's very likely it might be at the next takeover on October 4. So, and Shotzi's in it. So who knows? Could it be Shotzi? We'll see. So something to think about here, guys. So 7.5. I think that's the correct rating. I think 8's a little steep for me, so it wasn't really an 8. The cutout matches and then that other match that had the NA, I can't really give it an 8 for that, but I will give it 7 to 7.5 though. I think that's the most respectable rating that I can give. I got to give a slight edge to AEW this week, so really nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, great show though, but not quite the 8 that MF says. It's more 7.5 for me.
7.5 to 8 for me. I mean, I'm more with what Fletch said. I mean, yeah, you did have some cool down fights, but it served its purpose. I mean, Fletch pretty much said it. I mean, and for me, when it comes to this week's AEW and NXT, I'm going to call it a draw. That's how I see it. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, let's put a bow on it.
All right, yeah, no problem, guys, and we are done for the night. So tomorrow night is College Football Thursday, as we got a lot of news. First off, we're going to do the games themselves. Then we're going to be previewing the Eastern and Western Conference Finals in the NBA. The biggest news that came out today from college football, the Big Ten is back. Yes, the Big Ten will open for business this October. October 24th right now looks like it's going to be the date. They're going to do a very small schedule with the Big Ten title game on December 19th. That would open the door for, if there's a Big Ten representative, to represent them in the college football playoff, because the 20th will be the announcement. So the Big Ten has thrown their hat in, and they will be playing this October. We'll give you reactions on that tomorrow. And if the Tampa Bay Lightning does indeed slam the door on the New York Islanders, then we will also be previewing the Stanley Cup Final So we got a lot to talk about. A lot. Starting at 10:30 Eastern, hosted by Anthony Florio. Until then, for Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. So long for now. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye-bye for now.